Excuse my rather somber dress, but I've come to pay my last respects to a very famous friend. I've come to Longbridge, home of the Mini for the last 41 years, to go and see the very, very last Mini roll off the production lines. It was a little car that was started as an answer to the fuel crisis, but the car that revolutionized motoring and went on to become the car of the century.
The easiest way to win a bet of this sort is to make a car that is so unusual compared with all the other cars around it that it automatically becomes a status symbol.
What few people know or remember is the Mini wasn't actually called the Mini when it was first launched in '59. It had two names, the Austin 7 and the Morris Mini Minor. Another piece of Mini folklore is the fact that it was designed by Sir Alec Isagonis on the back of a paper cloth napkin and a cigarette packet. To find out about the special magic of the Mini, we've come to Longbridge, home of the great little car for the last 41 years. And of course, who better to tell us why it's been such a special car than the workers who've been putting it together all over that time. And I've got somebody here who is perfectly equipped to give the story, because Alan Loach actually started in 1959 when the car was actually launched. Alan, what were you doing when you first started here?
I was a tea boy making tea and running and fetching various bits and pieces from the stores for the various people who were working here.
And tell me, can you remember what the salary was you got back then?
£2, 12 shillings and sixpence a week.
Mike Hewitt, what do you have as your memories of the Mini?
Well, I think it's a great little car, but it's a bit of a pig to work on. I mean, we've all still got the scars to prove that point.
How do you think it's going to be on, when the Mini is gone? How will you feel?
Oh, well, it'll be a tragic day for Longbridge and Birmingham. We've all been brought up with it for 20-odd years. Great family car, and I think every household or somebody in the household has owned a Mini during their lifetime.
Well, when I was younger, I had one myself, and it was probably one of the best little cars I've ever had in my lifetime. And it's been an enduring model, obviously. It's lasted over 40 years, and it's a special little car.
So Jeff, here we have the very last Mini, number 5387-862.
Yes.
How do you feel about it?
Well, like most people associated with the Mini here, we feel sad, but also extremely proud of the fact that we produced this car, this British motoring legend, for the last 41 years at Longbridge. And all I can say to anybody who wants to emulate what we've done, we're a hard act to follow.
I have to say, it's absolutely years since I've been in a Mini. And the first thing that hits you is just how tight it is in here for space. I don't know who they thought the 4 adults were that would get in here, but we definitely must be growing now, because it is seriously cramped in here. I'm in the performance one, and, well, to be frank, on a motorway, the performance is distinctly average. But there again, the Mini was not made for motorways. It was made for having absolutely hoots of fun driving on twisty English roads. Well, that could be my last drive of this amazing little car. It was called the classless car. In the swinging 60s, it was the car for celebrities to have. Everyone from the Beatles to Twiggy, Paul Newman, Clint Eastwood, Steve McQueen, they were all at the wheel of one of these. I don't know what the real secret of its success has been. My own view was that it was great fun and it was really affordable, something that the owners of the new Mini should take into account when they price it. But I think the biggest thing of all is it just puts a smile on your face. And I'll tell you something, we'll never ever see the likes of this car again, or the success that it's enjoyed. And because of that, I'm going to go and have just one more last drive. Bye.